For most of my life, people called me shy, and for a long time, I believed them. I thought maybe there was something wrong with me, like I wasn't enough of something, not outgoing enough, not loud enough, not social enough. But the truth is that I'm not shy. I'm just quiet in loud rooms. I am thoughtful and I take things in before I speak, and I tend to observe more than I participate. That is until I feel safe. But that doesn't mean that I don't have something to say. It just means that I value when and how I say it. People used to say that I was quiet, reserved, like it was a really bad thing, but I think being quiet isn't a flaw, it's just the way that I connect with the world. And over time, I realized that I am not the only one who feels this way. We, the quiet ones, the deep feelers, the observers, we experience life in our own way, and that way is just as valid. Hi, and welcome. And this is Sylvie from Wabi, Sabi, Sylvie. It's a space where we embrace imperfection and talk about life and growth and everything in between. And I want to be honest, for years I saw my shyness as a flaw in my character. I was so frustrated with myself that I wasn't more outgoing or more talkative or, more social like everyone else seemed to be. I wish that I could be that bubbly person who knew just what to say and always seemed comfortable around others. And I just beat myself up for not being that way. But I hadn't yet realized that it wasn't a flaw at all. It was just the way that I was wired. We live in a world that celebrates extroversion, being social and being loud and being seen. It's often treated like the standard. And when you're more inward or reflective or soft spoken, it really can feel like you're somehow less than, but you're not. You're just different, and different isn't wrong. And I've seen this play out not just in me, but in my daughter too. When she was little, I used to watch her wait for the school bus, like in the cold weather, and she'd be standing there quietly, patiently, and then the moment that the bus arrived, a group of other kids would rush up and push in front of her, leaving her the last one to enter. It used to upset me so much that she didn't speak up for herself. I wanted her to take up that space, to say something, and to stand her ground. And I admit I tried to step in once or twice. I gently called it out, but even at a young age, she wouldn't appreciate that. She didn't want me to make a scene. She didn't want anyone to feel bad. And the truth is that I think she was like me. She didn't want the drama. She didn't want to push or compete. She just wanted peace. And in some ways, I think she reflected back a part of me that at that time I hadn't fully accepted yet. But before I go deeper, I want to pause and say something. If you've ever felt misunderstood because you're the quiet one, you are not broken, you're just deep. You have probably been told to speak up, to be more outgoing, to act like someone you're not. But your energy isn't wrong, it's just different and it's needed. And that's exactly why I'm here. I can't speak for all introverts because we're not a one size fits all personality, but I can speak from my experience. And if even one piece of my story resonates with you, then I really hope that it brings some comfort or clarity. Honestly, starting a YouTube channel as an introvert, it's been a journey of its own. Putting myself out there isn't always so easy, but I really felt called to share and to connect and to maybe inspire or motivate someone who feels the same way or sees life the same way. This space isn't about being loud or flashy, it's about being real. And if my voice can remind just one person that their quietness is their strength, then it's worth it. And I'll be honest, while I so admire the creators who can just pick up a camera and chat as they walk through their day, that's not how I work, at least not yet, but I aspire to. I need space to think and to feel and to make sure that what I share has real meaning. But maybe one day I'll be that person who talks as they go. But right now, no, I'm honoring the way that I'm wired. And I trust that even slow and thoughtful content has power. Introverts are often misunderstood. We don't jump into conversations just to be heard. We don't interrupt or overshare to prove our value. And because of that, people assume that we're shy or worse, disinterested or aloof or even rude. I have been in so many rooms where someone else dominates the energy, and instead of trying to match that volume, I've always pulled back. Not because I had nothing to say, but because I didn't want to perform. And I remember a work meeting once where everyone was talking over each other, tossing out ideas rapid fire. And I sat back quietly. I wasn't zoning out, but I was listening and processing. But later someone said that, oh, you didn't seem very interested. And that really stung because inside I was deeply engaged, but, I just wasn't loud about it. I never had the need to be the center of attention. I don't measure my value by how much space I take up. I measure it by how present I am. And then there's this weird idea that introverts are boring, that we don't know how to have fun, that we're just homebodies who want to sit in silence all day. But that couldn't be further from the truth. We don't love boredom, we love depth. We crave rich and meaningful conversations, and we light up when we talk about ideas or dreams or healing or creativity. We do find joy in stillness, in reading between the lines, in the moments that most people, rush past. Boredom to me is surface level talk, like small talk about the weather or gossip that goes nowhere or drama just to fill the silence. That's not connection to me, that's noise. And yes, sometimes small talk is unavoidable, but here's what I've learned. Small talk can be a bridge to something deeper. And when I remind myself of that, it becomes a little bit easier. I also love being around people, but too much noise or energy really drains me. I need alone time to recharge, especially after being in busy or loud environments. Even when it was fun, I still need that time to reset. It took me years to understand that it wasn't that I was shy. It just wasn't that I wasn't in the right environments. I was in spaces where being loud was seen as confidence and being quiet was, misunderstood, I think. But when I'm around the right people, the ones who see me, who hold space for real conversations, that's when I open up and that's when I shine. I have had late night talks where I felt completely alive, not because the conversation was loud, but because it was real. And those are the moments that I live for. So if you've ever felt like the quiet one in a loud world, please know this is that your stillness is a strength and your depth is beautiful. You don't have to be loud to matter, and you don't have to perform to be worthy of space. You don't owe anyone an explanation for needing time alone. Saying no to plans doesn't make you rude or antisocial, it just makes you honest. No thanks is a complete sentence which took me some time to learn myself, as I talk about in my video about how I stopped being a people pleaser. The people who value you will, respect your need for space, and the ones that don't, I think they were never your people to begin with. There will always be people who think that you need to be more outgoing and who will try to push you out of your shell, who don't understand why you're quiet. But that's their issue and not yours. The moment that you stop trying to fit into a mold that wasn't made for you, you will feel the freedom of being yourself. If this spoke to you, if you've ever felt that tug between being yourself and trying to fit in, know that you're not alone. This space is for people like us who feel deeply and think quietly and crave more than just surface level living. So, if you are on a journey of embracing your true nature, please subscribe for more reflections like this. Let's keep learning and growing and loving this perfectly imperfect life together. Grab your tea, take a breath, and remember that you don't have to be allowed to be powerful. See you in the next one.